Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here, and welcome to my review for the Turtle Tank from the Rise of the TMNT series. So as you can see here, I already have the figures interacting with it, which is one of the features of it. I mean, it's not like anything stopping it from the figures interacting with it if they didn't advertise it. But yeah, you can interact it with it a ton of different ways. Like right now, I have Mikey just kind of hanging off of this like haphazardly, but they have these little bars here, so you can have them holding on to it. You could have them holding on to these if you wanted to too. There's bars here, you could have them standing on the roof. You could have them doing just about anything. I got Donnie here looking super like over serious with his weapon sticking out of his little lab here. I'm just gonna take him out temporarily. Might put him back in later. I don't know, Donnie, you might be on a timeout. You look too serious. But yeah, this is his little lab bit here. That opens up, and then here you open the cab up like this, and look, oh, this looks like almost this part of his thing like blowing in the wind, but you can fit everybody in here driving. I like how they all fit, like no matter what the size. Like Raph's the biggest of all the figures, but he fits in there fine with another person. It's not like you have to finagle it or anything, so they do a pretty good job at that. But yeah, so stickers come off. That's going to be something I'll talk about in a second. Yeah, so that can work with, you know, any of the figures for just riding mode. Look-wise, just, you know, aesthetically, I think it looks pretty solid. Given that this is also done by Playmates Toys, very reminiscent of, or at least, I mean, it's a different style, but I mean, just in reviewing it, reminds me a lot of the Ben 10 truck I reviewed a while back. You know, it looks pretty decent. I feel like it could, I don't know, look a little bit better, but it's pretty solid. The colors stand out pretty well. Looks decently enough like the show. I do like the design of it with like the saucer sort of turtle shell vibe to it and like the taxi bit here. And it's a pretty good size, you know. I think kids are obviously going to like the playset aspect of it, but just like sitting there on display with some turtles in it, I think it looks pretty solid. Again, you can always do better, but pretty decent. As mentioned, there are stickers very similar to the Ben 10 one. Like there's some up here. You got like the license plate here, some of the headlights, these little bits here on the side, which I just highlighted. The taxi bits are also stickers, some here on the back. It's not too huge of a deal. Like, honestly, very simple, nothing too taxing, but I still just am not a fan of stickers. Like, I'm sure there's some kids or collectors out there that really love putting on stickers, but even with like model kits, I just get kind of tired of it. And in the case of these, they're so minimal, I kind of wish they didn't exist, especially with over time they're gonna start fraying, and that just always kind of bothers me. Any other assembly, excuse me, is really basic. Like these bits here, you just attach, very, very simple. These little bits here also are going to attach, but like nothing too huge or life-changing. You know, adding the missiles in is another thing. These little bits here might look weird to you, but that's because you can actually attach the cycles on there, which I think is super neat. But yeah, other than that, that's what it does in this mode. It bees truck, it can roll, all that type of fun stuff, you know, attach the cycles, put the turtles in there, like I just mentioned. And then it can rise up, hence the name, like this. So you lift this up, it kind of rises like this. And then this right here is a ladder, and you pull it back right here, and you'll see, you can pull the truck bed down. There's these two little holes here, and that kind of is where you place the ladder so it'll stay up. It was really funny because I actually at first didn't see that, and I was just taking the ladder and putting it here, which actually kind of works. But yeah, that's more or less what you get here. You kind of rise it up there, and that'll stick too. So then, obviously, now you can fit people in the truck bed. You'll be like, wee, I'm in the truck bed, fun. And like, oh, I'm a ladder. It's a bed with a ladder. So you can, you know, open that up. You can even have like, it's big enough space. You could put like them fighting the villains in there if you wanted to. And then obviously, you know, it goes up here. So it's kind of like a battle station. And I showed those little, you know, missiles. There we go. That's the word. And this spins, which is kind of cool. And these little buttons here for the missiles, and they get a pretty good range. You just heard it hit the floor. Let's do the other one just for symmetry's sake. Oops, I didn't mean to unclick that. But yeah, so you know, pretty standard stuff. Usually most vehicle-based things will include, you know, missiles and stuff like that. And I already showed like this opens up here for Donnie. And there also you can open up this whole bit here for Donnie's workstation. Super exciting and not very like filled in. I also really like this, the way it looks like almost like you're undoing a vault. Like, I think that's kind of neat. It's just like a really random detail that I'm not sure how important that was to them. Also, this whole saucer bit, you can straight up just take off. There we go. So you can take this whole bit off and you can actually attach it to the giant like sewer playset that they have, which I don't have. But yeah, you can do that, which is kind of neat. It gives connectivity, and then it's pretty easy to step back on. I also forgot to totally rise that up. I believe that's pretty much about it. You know, you can put the turtles in there. Let's get him in here. The other guys are already still driving. That seems dangerous that they're doing this while they're driving, but then let's put the little super serious Donnie up here, doing his super serious business all up in here, and he's super far down there now because it's rising up, so he's hiding, so you can full on hide somebody in there. You could probably fit somebody's foot in there, I don't know, but yeah, that is the sort of, you know, what I'm going to call the battle station ladder mode for my language. But overall, I think this is definitely something that kids will really like. What I do like about it for that aspect is that I like it that it works with different things in the toy line. I mean, obviously the figures are going to work with it, but I like that it also can work with the bikes if you pick either of those up or both of them. And I also like stuff like that you can remove this and put it with the giant playset. So it works with different things from throughout the line, so there's like a synergy with it, which I really enjoy because I think kids will get a kick out of that. If they happen to get all of this or some of it, you kind of have this playability with it. And even on its own, there's a lot of playability and stuff. And you know, for collectors who like the truck, it's a pretty solid looking truck for that. It's overall, I'm not like absolutely blown away like, oh my god, this toy of the year. But I think for what it is, I think kids will get a kick out of it. And you know, collectors might like the design of it, but again, not blown away, but I think there's definitely some fun to be had for kids. Anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for all my videos. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.